This video is a guide for Singapore Entry Pass. Agenda for this video is we will understand what is an entry pass, eligibility criteria, documents required, setting up your company, renewal conditions, bringing in dependents, and some practical experiences relating to entry pass. So let's begin. The first question is what is an entry pass? So as the name suggests, entry pass is a pass which is meant for entrepreneurs. So it is for the people who want to start up a company in Singapore and wish to relocate to Singapore for managing it. So this is the basic purpose of entry pass. However, it also creates some confusion because employment pass also can be used for setting up a company and relocating to Singapore. So people are often confused about it, and I have another video which explains the difference between entry pass and employment pass. So for this video we will concentrate on the procedures related to entry pass only. So the key question is what is the eligibility for getting an entry pass? So the first thing is that you need to have a business idea and a business plan which is obvious, and in addition to that you must be an entrepreneur. And what that entrepreneur means is the company that you are founding is funded by a government accredited venture capitalist or business angel, or the company must have been a participant at a government supported incubator, or the candidate, that is you, have significant business experience or network and a promising entrepreneurial track record. The second category is that you can be from an innovator category, and that means your company must own an intellectual property, or the company must have a research collaboration with A*STAR or a university in Singapore, or the company has exceptional technical or domain expertise in an area related to your proposed business. And lastly, you might be in the category of investor, and that means you are willing to invest a substantial amount of money in a local company and you have a track record of growing companies. So to be eligible for entry pass, you must satisfy at least one of these conditions. So you can be in entrepreneur category and you may satisfy one of these three conditions, or you can be in innovator category and you can satisfy any of these three conditions, or you can satisfy the conditions for investor. Now if you want to understand more in detail about these conditions, I will show where to find that out. I have not covered entire that material in this video presentation. So on Ministry of Manpower website under entry pass category, you can click on eligibility, and there all these three categories are explained properly. So when we say that is an incubator or a government recognized incubator or accelerator, then they have explained it with examples. So depending upon your preference, you can go through these details. Now let's have a look at the history of entry pass. So entry pass was first introduced in 2003, and at that time it only needed a business idea and business plan to be presented for the approval. In 2013 it was amended, and in addition to business idea and business plan, this requirement of additional criteria, that is to be in the category of entrepreneur, innovator or investor, was added. So in the period 2003 to 2013, many business ideas in the normal course of life, ordinary ideas, were exploited by people and they could get entrepreneur pass in Singapore. However, with the amendments made in 2013, now the focus of entry pass is becoming more on tech startup, because if you want to get funding or get incubator recognition, normally that is possible in tech space only. So the key thing to note here is that for entry pass, focus is on business building capability. You will notice that there is no relevance for educational qualification and there is no relevance of prior work experience. So it is possible that somebody who is a college dropout can also apply for entry pass based on his business building capabilities. This is the primary point where entry pass differs from employment pass. Simply speaking, the authorities are asking a question do you have a viable business idea? And if you have a business idea, has any other reputed or recognized organization like a venture capitalist, university or a research organization liked the idea and agreed that the idea has some merit? If the answer to these two questions is yes, then obviously you will qualify to get the entry pass. So what is our experience on the ground? From which category maximum entry pass are coming nowadays? So we have seen these are the three broad categories and each category has further sub-classification. Now out of this what I see is majority of the entry passes are coming from incubative programs and relatively very small number of entrepreneurs are coming from business experience and entrepreneurial track record category and also from intellectual property, but their number is very small. And other categories we have not really seen many applications coming. So in case you want to get entry pass and if you want to start your tech startup in Singapore, then you can explore these incubator programs. I will show you where you can find these accelerators. So if you search in Google Singapore accelerators, then there will be some sites which show you the list. Let me take this fintechnews.sg. and you will find a list of some of the accelerators. So these accelerators actually run various programs. These programs are for developing entrepreneurial ideas and kind of a workshop. And if you participate in any of these workshops, you will typically get a letter stating that your course has qualified for entry pass application, and there will be some details with which entry pass application can be submitted. So once you qualify for entry pass, the next steps are quite procedural. So the documents required for entry pass are as follows. You will need to provide entry pass application form number 8 completed, passport copy, a business plan which will summarize product and services being offered, market analysis, operations plan, profile of management team and supporting documents. For example, you might have some licenses or you might require some product certificates or patents. So we can provide you a template for this which will summarize, which will help you to organize all these details in an orderly manner. In addition to that, you also need to provide a documentary proof that you satisfy one of the additional conditions, that is you fall in entrepreneur, investor or innovator category. Once these details are there, the information can be lodged in Ministry of Manpower site and entry pass application can be lodged. It will take roughly 6 to 8 weeks for the approval. Once the approval happens, the next question comes about setting up your company. Now technically you can register your company even before your entry pass has been approved, or you can register it after the entry pass application is finalized. In general, if possible, incorporate after your entry pass is approved. So you will not have any fear about the time limit, because if company is already registered, then you have only 6 months to get your entry pass. But in some cases you might need to register your company early because you might want to have funding from VCs, and for that they might need the company to be already incorporated. One more point to remember here is entry pass need to be exercised or issued before you can act as a local director of the company. So just an approval letter is generally not enough. You must have relocated to Singapore and you must have an address in Singapore. Only after that we can add you as a local director of the company. Otherwise you might need to take a nominee director for few months. Now comes the point of renewal criteria. So the entry pass are normally issued for 1 year initially, and they are renewable after that for a duration of 2 years at a time. So first time entry pass is for 1 year and then subsequently you get it for 2 years. And this renewal depends upon the business spending and how many people you are employing. So at the end of the first year, you don't have any obligation as to the annual business spending or how many people you are employing. However, at the end of the second year, you need to have annual business spending of at least Singapore dollar 100,000 in a year, and you must employ at least 3 LQ or 1 PME. So LQ means normally I will say lower end labor, whereas PME refers to the managers and professionals kind of talent. So the explanation I have given here. So generally LQs are the people who earn a monthly salary of at least 1400 and receive CPF contribution for 3 months, whereas local PMEs refer to professionals, managers and executives with a minimum salary of 3600 Singapore dollars per month. And then as the length of your entry pass increases, the requirement for annual business spending and employment of PME or LQ also goes up. So you must satisfy this criteria to renew your entry pass. You may also want to bring in your dependents, for example your spouse and children, to stay with you in Singapore. Now normally for entry pass for the first year, you cannot get dependent pass. You can bring them on a short-term visit pass to stay for few months with you. After that they must go back to their home country. Only after 1 year of operations are complete, then depending upon the business spending of your entry pass company, you will be allowed to bring in your spouse and children, either legally married or common law spouse and parents, provided annual business spending is at least Singapore dollar 100,000 or 200,000 as the case shown here, and you employ the minimum number of headcount in your company. Now keep it in mind, spouse and children qualify for dependent pass if you have live-in relationship, common law spouse, a handicapped child about 21 years old, stepchildren. They will not qualify for dependent pass, but you can bring them on LTVP, long-term visit pass. Similarly, there is no dependent pass for parents, but you can bring them in Singapore on LTVP, obviously subject to this spending conditions. Now couple of questions. What are the chances of entry pass approval? So generally if you are qualifying and if you are satisfying the conditions mentioned either in innovator, entrepreneur or investor category, then chances of entry pass approval are quite high. There is no reason why it will get rejected if you are qualifying under those categories. The next question is, what is the process of issuing entry pass? So once entry pass is approved, the process is more or less similar to the issuing of employment pass. You will need to travel to Singapore, and if you have engaged any employment agency for application of entry pass, then they will help you to issue the entry pass. Then you will have to go to employment pass processing department. There you will have to give your thumbprint and show some documents. And then after 4 or 5 days, the cards will be prepared and they will be sent to employment agency address from where you can collect it. So in summary, entry pass has a focus on business idea and its recognition by reputed third parties. In that sense, it is different from employment pass. However, with additional conditions introduced in 2013, its focus now is more on modern technology-based startup ideas.
Thank you for watching this video. This video was brought to you by Epica Consulting Singapore. Subscribe to our channel today to get notified when new videos are posted.